It's one of the most terrifying, most iconic, and most relentless machines in movie history, a cybernetic organism. You know the line, living tissue over a metal endoskeleton. But what is actually going on under that famous stoic skin? Well, today we're going to do a full breakdown of the T-800. So here's our dissection plan for today. We're going to start with the basic anatomy of this killer machine. Then we'll strip it down layer by layer. We're talking the skeleton, the processor, and that living tissue. After that, we'll take a quick look at how it evolved, and we'll end with the big one. What exactly is this thing? You have to remember what Skynet's goal was here. It was pretty simple, really. Create an infiltration unit that looked completely human on the outside, but was a pure machine to the core. A walking, thinking, killing machine designed to blend right in and terminate its targets without a shred of mercy. And at that core, well, that's the stuff of nightmares, isn't it? The legendary endoskeleton. This is the foundation of the T-800's incredible power and, frankly, terrifying resilience. Now, what's so wild here is the material itself. We're not just talking about regular metal. This is a hyper-alloy battle chassis. It's a titanium alloy that's so incredibly dense and strong that conventional bullets they just flatten against it. This isn't just armor plating on a frame. The entire skeleton is the armor. And all that armor? It's heavy. A fully decked-out T-800 infiltration unit weighs in at about 180 kilograms. That's nearly 400 pounds. Now just try to imagine 400 pounds of relentless, focused machinery heading your way at over 20 miles per hour. No thank you. But the key here, the really crucial point, is its sheer durability. Shotgun blasts at point-blank range, it just gets back up. Caught in the middle of a tanker truck explosion, it literally walks right out of the fire. Set ablaze, shot by an entire building full of cops, slammed by cars, the endoskeleton just keeps on coming. It is the very definition of unstoppable. Okay, so we've seen the body, the pure brawn. Now let's get to the brain. Because, all that brute force is useless without a mind to guide it. And inside the T-800's armored skull sits its most advanced, and you could argue most dangerous component. Right, so this is not some simple computer just running a program. The T-800 is powered by a neural net processor. You got to think of it as an artificial brain. Years and years before it became a buzzword, this was Skynet's version of deep learning. It's a CPU designed not just to calculate, but to actually learn from experience, which is what makes it a far, far more deadly hunter than anything that came before it. And this right here, this just perfectly illustrates Skynet's own paranoia about its creations. The processor has two modes. The default is read-only, where it just follows its programming to the letter. But, and this is a big but, there's a switch, a hidden feature that unlocks its true potential for learning. And Skynet? Skynet usually keeps this locked, because the absolute last thing it wants is a machine that starts thinking too much. But even in that standard, locked-down mode, its analytical power is just staggering. In a split second, it can calculate the trajectory of a grenade, analyze the wind speed for a perfect shot, figure out the structural weakness in a building, perfectly mimic a voice it just heard, and even sample the air for toxins. It's like a mobile forensics lab and a supercomputer all rolled into one. But look, that incredible skeleton and that genius processor would be totally useless for infiltration without the final critical layer, the one that allows it to walk among us, completely unnoticed. This is the T-800's real masterstroke. This isn't that creepy rubber skin like on the old T-600s. No, this is specially grown, living human tissue. We're talking complete with blood, sweat, probably even bad breath. It can heal from minor wounds, and, as we've seen, this tissue even ages over time, which makes it the ultimate disguise for a long-term infiltration unit. So, does it feel? The machine itself gave us the best possible answer. It doesn't feel pain the way a human does, but it does receive incredibly detailed damage reports. It registers the input from every single bullet, every cut, every burn as sensory data, and it's data that it interprets as a tactical problem that just needs to be solved. But as effective as the T-800 was, Skynet, it never stopped improving its killing machines. The 800 series ended up becoming the basic platform for even more specialized and advanced models. So let's quickly break down the key upgrades here. The T-850, you can think of that as the hardened version. It had a reinforced skeleton and these really risky but powerful hydrogen fuel cells. But its real upgrade was in the software, a much deeper understanding of human psychology, so it could better predict and manipulate its targets. The T-888, on the other hand, was a specialist. It was built from a different, more resilient alloy called coltan, and it was programmed specifically for deep, long-term infiltration missions. This thing could mimic complex human behavior for years on end. So this brings us to our final question, and it's a debate that really goes to the very heart of what this machine is. We've seen all the parts, we've broken it down, so how do we classify the whole thing? Okay, by the strict definition, a cyborg starts out as a living thing. It's a biological organism that's been enhanced with machinery. Think of a person with a cybernetic arm. The core of it is biological. Now, an android, that's the complete reverse. It starts out as a machine. It's a robot, built from scratch. But it's specifically designed to look and act just like a human. The core is mechanical. So here's the question we're left with. The T-800 starts its life as a machine, right? A metal skeleton that's just disguised in a biological coating. By definition, that makes it an android. But when that living tissue can heal and age and send sensory data we call pain to a brain that can actually learn and adapt, well, where does the machine end and the organism begin? It might be the most sophisticated android ever built, but it forces us to ask what it truly means to be a cyborg, or for that matter, to be alive at all.